there you go.
Now or never.
It's now or never.
Let's see, what do they say? Wherever you go, there you are?
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by OTR. Brought to you by 27.085 megahertz. Brought to you by RADI. The O2 Radio Network.
Well, that almost sounded good. Let's see, for some reason, it looks like the audio isn't there. What happened here?
Oh, the jingle singers were there.
Okay, just didn't look like the audio was coming through. Let me switch over to my audio meter that would kind of tell me something here. Anyway, the old Tube Radio Network, trying to get off the beaten path here. Well, that looks pretty good on that. For some reason, yeah. I know why. Hold on.
They were clipping on the peaks.
That might be better. Hello, radio testing. All right, I think I was on the wrong antenna there. That might be a bit better. Over. Checking the SWR. That looks pretty good. Let me see if the radio's happy. At some point, you can usually tell if you are not correct, because your REA meter will show you're positive and negative in the wrong situation. All right, we'll keep going. I think it's there.
You sounding good.
All right, looks like we are up on the audio stream at oldtuberadio.net. I think we are also up on the live video stream at whatever it is, the YouTube thing. The YouTube thing that happens here occasionally. And if I click on, are we on the control room? Yeah. We are here in the control room tonight. The old Tube Radio Network, real radio is glowing in the dark. Getting ready for the shortwave listener check-ins. And perhaps your radios. That's the reason we are here tonight, of course, to check in, talk about, and find out more information about the classic tube radios from 1958 to about 1978, when they were the thing on your 11-meter Class D citizen band radio. Maybe you had one yourself. Maybe you wish you had one. Or maybe you're about to buy one. We'll help you with possibly what models and makes you might want as we check in the radios and you hear the good ones. For now, let's go over to shortwave listeners and see what's happening. Something we've been doing here for, well over 35 years or so on Saturday evenings. Channel 11, 27085 is our frequency of choice. If you'd like to join us live or the skip conditions are running, JT on Old Radio Night was on Channel 11 a little bit tonight, and I was listening in to see if he would beacon through into the Central Valley of California, but didn't quite make it. But he was on the Regency Imperial Radio, so if there's ever a radio that was going to come through, that should be it. Our 00 this next 8 weeks is, believe it or not, the station out there in Sanger, Mr. 305. Dave, are you listening? Either that or he's, as usually, probably can't hear Midtown Fresno. We'll get Dave checked in. We'll also get a X in the square for SWL number 1, Dr. J, and SWL number 2, OBP, is out there saying that we did have some activity in the sunspots this week, helping us out with some propagation and then messing it up just a little bit. But the bands have been pretty good. There was some skip rolling in this morning, and other bands are working good. So if you're out there and you can do it, and it's okay to do it now. You can talk more than 150 miles without the FCC doing bad things to you here on 11 meters. Thanks, OBP. Looking for SWL3.
Right, OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead, over.
Yeah, I done it. Could I check in early?
You sure can. Get you out of the cold and dark and hope you're having a good weekend.
Yeah, 10-4. Appreciate it there, 10-4. Have a good one. Take care.
All right, we got you checked in. Mr. Belair 53 on the old Tube Radio Network. Just trying to get the stuff to work here. Sometimes the old radios work better than the new control things. SWL4. Got the S meter working. If you're watching the video, and what am I looking at? I'm looking at the SWR there. So got the S meter working. So we should have some signals if you want to give yourself a radio report to SWL5. SWL6, SWL7.
SWL7, checking in.
Checking in and sounding good. I got a snap. That's the J38 key. I'm using the code key to keep the radio. That's what that snap is all about. You are sounding good, Ed. We've got you checked in. I just want people to think I have one of those big amplifiers, and it would keys up and you hear that big snap. SWL10, Chrissy is in over on the video side. Hope all is well in your Idaho town. And Dave, I see you checking in on the video side with a high noise floor going on. That happens. It would help if the old Tube Radio Network wasn't such a mud duck. It might be able to make it through that big noise floor. Heading over to SWL13. I'm checking. I think the comments are working. Yeah, the comments are working over to oldtuberadio.net. So far, so good. So if you can check in that way, we'll get a hold of you as well. SWL14. Shortwave listener 16, running around here somewhere tonight. They're helping me out. I got the jacket, I got the tie. Everything is working good. Anoka right behind the cameras tonight, or the camera anyway, helping me out with the cards. With the cue cards. So I know what I'm supposed to say. Or supposed to do here, thanks, Charlie. Over to SWL17. And who is the breaking station? Okay, I thought I had a breaking station in there. Over to SWL18. I'll get to KDA checked in from Facebook. SWL19. And I saw Chet earlier, and then he said he was on an assignment, whatever that means. Belfast, Derby, New York. He's all over the place tonight anyway. Checking in. Thanks, Chet. Wherever you are in the studios here tonight, doing whatever it is you're supposed to do. I hope Boso Control didn't put you up to something screwy. Let's see. Let's go over to SWL20. Got a check-in proxy. I think that Harvey is listening in from his secret location, wherever that might be. He could be one of the unknown SWLs tonight, checking in from somewhere. SWL21 live from the old radio night moments ago, where we were listening to, if you were there, let me see if I can find the radio that was on tonight on old radio night. Let me see what was going on. Yeah, and I know right before they stopped making these D104. I think I can grab a shot of this. If you're on the YouTube video. If you're on the YouTube, there it is. There's the.
Yeah, you guys pick it up. I just better than go ahead.
There's the Regency Imperial. And every time I see that radio, I get homesick for putting up my Regency back into the desk here. That's the radio I started with 35 years ago on old tube radio, and long before that, in the early 70s. Regency Imperial double sideband AM suppressed carrier. I think that's got the 6BQ5 modulation. It's got a great receiver and doing a great job. I am anticipating that sometime during cycle 25, we will be beaconing on channel 11 and no doubt talking to the Wasama Swamps from Imperial to Imperial. We've got a couple years to figure this out on cycle 25, but we are ready to do that. Thanks, JT, for checking in. And the world's longest ground rod on the old radio night. Be sure to check that out before this program here on the West Coast. Over to SWL 22. And SWL 23, the Echolink link, I believe, is up, but I haven't checked it out there. I don't know if 23 Skidoo is out there or not tonight. Let me just put out a call, because I've been remiss in seeing if everything is working on the link up tonight, but hold on a second. KB6GFD, not sure if the link is up, but we're listening.
We interrupt this radio program for breaking news. A Tesla Roadster belonging to Elon Musk, recently launched into outer space, has collided with a little-known satellite, in what some are sarcastically calling the first intergalactic fender bender. The debris field created by the collision is expected to harmlessly burn up during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere over the coming centuries. The private satellite, which had been used to facilitate two-way terrestrial communications between old tube radios operating in the 11-meter citizens band spectrum, is registered to the 23 Skidoo Space Exploration Group. Having only been recently launched from its spaceport in Santa Cruz, California. A spokesperson for 23 Skidoo said, "We are shocked and saddened by the unexpected loss of our satellite, affectionately known as the Golden Eagle Mark V. While our Eagle has unexpectedly landed, we will not be deterred by this tragedy, and will accelerate the planned launch of a replacement satellite within the coming weeks, to carry out the Mark V's original mission. To boldly go where no old tube radio has gone before. The replacement satellite, nicknamed the Q-Bird, will be launched using a newly developed reusable lift vehicle, known as the TRAM, an acronym for Tube Radios Are Magical." This concludes this breaking news announcement. We now return you to the old Tube Radio Network program already in progress.
Well, there you heard it. The breaking news. I knew we couldn't trust Elon. Got to work on the tube satellite. We got a great transmission a couple of weeks ago, a live report from the tram. So we will try again. You cannot keep the old tube radio network down. 23 Skidoo working with us out on the coast, and then a host of others, a crew. I think we might even have to get the Costco card involved to get things back up, but we do want to get Eagle 5, Eagle 6, whatever it takes to get our tube radios up and running. So thanks for the update. The old tube radio network, we will find a way. If there's a way to get a radio on the air, it should happen. Seeing as how it takes me 3 hours to get this station going, and it doesn't have to even get to outer space. I will give the space exploration to more capable hands. You are listening to the old Tube Radio Network. Looking for SWL 24. SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis. 25 checking in.
All right, I hear you just fine. Fortunately, we don't need the satellite uplink to make it out to Madeira Heights, so you're sounding good.
Yeah, actually, I can hear her a lot better than I can hear you, Dennis, so that's probably on my end. But anyway, 25 checking in, and by the way, go ahead check in 74, over.
All right, I will do that. That's why I'm thinking we may have a new net control, a replacement for net control. I kind of like hearing that voice, too. Thanks for checking in. I'll get 74 at the appropriate time.
Roger. Thanks, Dennis.
The Old Tube Radio Network, we are on the shortwave listener roll call. The Tube Radio check-ins are coming up, so stay tuned for that. Over to page 2 and listening for SWL 27.
27's checking in from Studio G.
Studio G. No satellite link up. Studio G is not too far from here. Probably I could fly a kite and have it land over in Studio G. Sounding good. Hope all is well in the bands. There's a contest going on, big contest this weekend. Do people contest on FT8 and FT4?
Well, we did last week on the VHF contest. I don't know about today's. I don't know what today's contest is.
It is CQ and North America CQ Party or something like that. So it's one of those easy ones where you don't have to say that, 5'9", you just give your name and where you're at, and away you go. I don't know what the purpose is, but it's easy to do. So you are not 5'9", and I've got you checked in.
Roger.
Old Tube Radio Network looking for SWL 28, Gary. In at or near Sacramento, 28's checking in. There he is. By the glow of the fire and the glow of his tube radio with his Ovaltine. Where is my Ovaltine? It's around here somewhere. I've got plenty to last me probably all of 2022. There's a secret supplier that comes through here, so it keeps us all ready in the Ovaltine. But that will get you through on a cold Central Valley, Sacramento Valley evening. Thanks, Gary, for checking in. Got to check in for SWL 29. And Mr. RFI in up Idaho way is also checking in. Says no conditions, very spotty conditions earlier today and yesterday as well. That's our skip report earlier, was that the band was open for all of less than 5 minutes, depending on where you were at. So I think number 2 mentioned that there was some M-class flares going on, so that kind of takes care of really good conditions. The A and the K index start creeping up and you get lots of noise. So anyway, we will be listening because cycle 25 is on its way.
You get all my numbers yet?
I haven't got your number yet, but it popped up on my screen because I'm on that page. All right, well, I was going to get you checked in. We got the report that you made it back, and we're trying to stay horizontal as per the doctor's orders, but you sound like you're up. Checking the Ovaltine, and we've got you checked in. Over.
I wish I had some Ovaltine, but I don't. I got some Nestle's quick, though. All right, Dennis, I just want to get in here real quick, let you guys know I made it okay. They got half of it out. There was so much in there, pulled half of it out, but my leg does feel better, but where they went in is sore.
Yeah, I bet. That's kind of an intrusion, if you know what I mean. So they will schedule you and continue with the good work. And speaking of good work, you've done yours. We've got you checked in. Listen to the program. Get the Nestle's quick, and we will catch you next time.
All right, thank you. I may keep it on listening for a while. I'm not going to be firing up another radio or anything, but I just want to at least get in there, guys, let you guys know. I made it.
All right, as well you should, and sounding good, and yeah, keep it on. You can listen in, dial in, however you want to do it. Always good to have you, our listeners on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for checking in.
Comment?
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, in the comment, go ahead, please.
Good to hear you in there, Chris. 73.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, we made it out. I got home around 1 o'clock or so. I went straight to bed.
All right, I'll catch you later.
All right, but I'm up if you feel like calling or anything.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, thanks, you guys. Sounded good. Thanks, Chris, for jumping in there. SWL 37, SWL 31. Looking to see who is in and who is out. SWL 32. Shortwave listener 33. Yeah, all right. Get a, if I don't break something here, get a honk on the proboscis. Get myself checked in. SWL 34, Jimmy and Little Toot checking in. I want to see if we have the report from Jimmy out there in Batavia. I should have. We don't need an uplink for this. So let's see what's hanging. Let's see what's going on in the world of 34.
Hey, thank you, Dennis. Well, hello, everybody. This is Jimmy Fiedler, SWL number 34, your friend on this end from the west end of Chicagoland. I wanted to debunk a myth that kind of came up last week. Dennis had said that quite possibly I sleep standing up on one foot. Well, I just want to put the record straight that, yes, I can sleep standing up, but I do it with 2 feet on the ground. But anyway, what I came here to talk about today is a group that I've run now for a long time. By far, I believe it's probably the best and most successful group that I've ever had. It's called Fans of Browning, Tram, and Sonar. If you want a group that's got great pictures, sound technical advice, and really good history on these brands, this is the group for you. It's 3,300 members strong, and new stuff gets posted every day. Like, comment, and share. Remember that helps us out tremendously with the Facebook algorithm. And thank you again for your patronage and support. I am Railroader, Unit 546, on the west end of Chicagoland, Batavia, Illinois. And I'll catch you later, guys. Bum bum.
And there is, I think I might be able to do, let me see if I can do the whistle, the Railroader going across the tracks. Let's see what happens here tonight. And that is one small train going across those tracks. Thanks, Jimmy, for the update and the latest on where to check out on Facebook to get updates on your favorite old tube radios. Speaking about a guy who knows old tube radios well, SWL 35, Mr. Bill, Red Monkey Communications, when the shop was here in town, kept us all up and running. A lot of the radios that you will hear checking in tonight might have either originated at or made it through the Red Monkey Communications shop to get a little peek and tweak to stay on the air. And we are glad to have Mr. Bill joining us tonight, saying hello, radio. And as always, hope all is going well in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Thanks, Bill, for checking in. Let's see, SWL 36, Jerry is in, but he was going to do he's going to try an echo link, but I think he mentioned that he was having the internet slowness that does happen. So we will catch you next time. But I will get you checked in. I have not been too busy looking at the Facebook updates here, but I know you're probably working on something good, and we will get an update soon. So if the internet starts behaving, jump into the Echo link and we'll pick you up. 37 checked in moments ago, and listening with a cup of Nestle's Quick and maybe some popcorn, who knows. Over to SWL 38. SWL 39. SWL 4785 is checking in over on the Facebook side. Made it up the elevator from the basement. At least the elevator's working. Or maybe you took the stairs. Anyway, it looks like you made it safely up to get checked in. SWL 41, Road Dog 507 checking in. The Tuner National Sideband 507 from Hudson Valley. Wishing everyone a good evening, wherever you may be. SWL 42.
Yeah, that's Proxy in 42 in the gang.
All right, we'll get 42 and the triple play check-in with no problem. SWL 43. Get Crazy Eddie checked in. SWL 44. Around somewhere on the other side of the hill, 44. How about SWL 44 on the top of the hill? Maybe listening in. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Dennis. Boy, what a bad noise level up there, but I can still hear you. 45.
All right, yeah, bad noise level going around. Could have some atmospheric conditions happening. The weather has been kind of strange, although the sun did come out, but we'll save some space for you on the Old Tube Radio check-in list.
Thanks, Dennis.
Speaking of the Old Tube Radio check-in list, who is hanging out with us tonight? The Squamish BC boys up there in the balcony tonight. Hello, Albert and the crew. Also, Seattle, Washington. Is it Chillicothe, Ohio? That is one word that I've never been able to... Let's see what's happening out there tonight. See if we get a weather report. Chillicothe. Chillicothe. Chillicothe is a city and county seat of Ross County, located along the Scotia River, 40 miles south of Columbus. It's the first and third capital of Ohio, and it's the only city in Ross County. And it's the center of the statistical area out there right off of Highway 35, where it's 22 degrees at 11:32. So I hope you are staying warm by your Old Tube radios tonight. Also, hello to Miami, Florida, Dallas, Georgia, come up to you, North Fork, California, listening in. Newton, where it is early Sunday morning, cloudy and 41 degrees as it comes up to 5 o'clock in the a.m. Thanks for staying up, getting up with us. Botno, we're coming to you up there in North Dakota. Squamish, BC, you guys are down in the mezzanine tonight. I was wondering what was going on the balcony. You guys are down up there in the mezzanine, so you don't have to go too far to get popcorn tonight. Inez, Kentucky, Woodland Park, Colorado, beaconing to the Central Valley. Hello to Oakland, Scotts Valley, Hermosa Beach, and a host of others. Louisville, Kentucky as well. Must have got the special... Sometimes they give out free tickets, and you get the special seat. I think Louisville's got the special seat tonight on OTR. Looking for SWL 46. SWL 47.
Well, good evening from the Radio Lounge, where we're rather speechless. We just happened to come into the Radio Lounge with that remote from the ditch banks, which was unique to say the least. And then I hope SWL 37 is doing well. I almost detect an emergency need for a delivery of more Dolly Madison products. I don't even know. But anyways, a good evening to all.
All right, yeah, a scheduled item, scheduled procedure, but yeah, the Dolly Madison products might go well with the Nestle's Quick. We don't want to get too much sugar going on. I think what you heard was the satellite or the Echolink satellite uplink update. See if we can't get our things up and running and flowing. As you may or may not know, a couple of weeks ago we had our first satellite uplink listening to the tram radio. And you know how it is. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more effort and expense to get things the way we want, but we will here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for checking in.
Oh, no. My pleasure, as always.
I know you will be, I don't know, you may have a satellite set up there already. You may be doing moon bounce. You might be able to help us out. Be our backup transmitter. Let's go over to SWL 48. SWL 49. Hello, Smitty and Sweet Country Mama.
Hey, hello there, Mr. Dennis. The minor 49er, Mr. Smitty here, checking in, waving all around. Also going to wave a hand for the Sweet Country Mama. You know, she's kind of radio shy, but I promise we'll get her out here again soon. Also heard the good news that Chris did well on his surgery, but you know what? He's a tough old fart, so we knew he would. So definitely some good news. I hope you guys are all having a good weekend so far, and we thank you very much for the net there, Dennis.
All right, thanks for joining us. Great audio as always. Almost sound like you could be on the satellite link yourself. And, well, we'll give Sweet Country Mama some time. Maybe she could help us out on the net controls sometime. I bet she'd do a great job. Thanks for checking in. Over to SWL 50.
Good evening. 50 checking in and checking out.
Checking in, checking out, and doing a good job of both. We got you on the list. Thanks, Mark.
Ready, Cotier?
Let me get 51 checked in. He checked in as 00, and again as 51. And the break OTR, go ahead, please.
24 checking in.
All right, speaking of checking in and checking out, here we go with SWL 24. Not a problem, we got you.
Roger.
Yeah, got the 51 check-in relay. Thank you for that. Over.
Not Oakers, Bass Lake.
So I'm always have trouble being heard in Bass Lake because there's that rock, that strange rock in the way. Let's go over to SWL 52.
Here in the mud.
SWL 53 checked in moments ago. Looking for page 3. Want to say hello to who's on the video side tonight. Listening in to the Old Tube Radio Network, waiting for those great tube radios that will be coming by shortly. John in Scranton says, good evening all. Hope everyone is well, having a good week. Uncle Hairball with us. AJM Jazz says it likes the new meter. I do too. Let me see. Maybe I can get it to do something while I'm... What if I move to that? Does that move around a little bit? And that doesn't do much either. It's more for the receive. I want people who are listening in to be able to see their signal string. Let's see. Cornbread is not checking in again. I know he didn't check in last week, but that's okay. Who else is listening? And Spank the Monkey, past few days, it's been crazy jamming, and today I think every AM radio jammer was found off frequency somewhere. Well, you know, sometimes that happens. It just, you got to be on the right channel, or maybe it's the wrong channel, where you get the, what does the FCC call it? The malicious interference, something like that. Who else is jumping in with us tonight? XOR is applauding the 49ers 13-10. Dallas is in. Good evening from Manchester, Tennessee. I don't know, is it snowing? I keep hearing reports that where you are in Tennessee, you might be picking up a little bit of snow, so could be fun there. The Spaceman CB Video Gates. I would like to see some of the Spaceman CB Video Gates saying good evening. And he's checking in for the first time. Well, thanks for joining us, the Old Tube Radio Network here. We have been over the air for 35 years at Channel 11, 27085. That's in Central California. And the video and the audio followed much, much later, so glad you could join us that way. But maybe we'll catch you on the air at some point. So, Spaceman around Sacramento. We might catch you on some of the E-skip, the sporadic. Sometimes we can hear Southern California and the guys up in Sacramento, so keep us tuned in on Channel 11. X4000 is out there listening, beaconing, and probably be in the studio with us here in a little bit to get the tube radio started. And Phil is also listening. Let's go to SWL54, get Mr. Board Jammer checked in. SWL55. SWL56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, 56, sounding good. I actually got back to my APRS, which I've been neglecting, and I have been noticing the Gazebo Gardens Running Man has been out and about lately. So at some point, sometimes you can actually put whatever frequency you're monitoring. So if you ever do that, I'll be able to probably jump on my radio and try out. But anyway, looking good. I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. So hopefully you give me a tutorial on it. Thanks for checking in. Let's go over to SWL 57. Mr. Brown Dog Audio out there in central Kentucky was checking in from the frozen bluegrass state. I was listening on 75 meters last night, and that was the talk. The talk was it's 18 degrees, it's 11 degrees, it's 15 degrees, and saying it shouldn't be like that. So something is going on. Ice and wind has taken a toll on the antenna the past few weeks, but it's helping to get everyone repaired and back up and running. Ice will do bad things. Ice loading and sludge. Snow falls off, but when it turns to ice, it gets heavy. Our FM broadcast station was taken off the air Christmas Day for about 10 hours thanks to ice loading on the antenna. And we're not like the big stations like Brown Dog Audio. We only run 1,000 watts on the FM. That's not enough to burn off the ice. Thanks for joining us tonight. Over to SWL 58. That is Jeremy, who's also in snow-laden Tennessee. The ground is freezing up. He needs to dig the trench to get the hardline coax run from the high-gain high tower. Get that thing up in the air. Hope the weather gets better and get some antenna things going on. And speaking of Uncle Hairball, who is out and about, SWL 59 checking in. Thank you there, Hairball. We will get you checked in. '59 is in. How about SWL 60?
How about that SWL 60? Evening time, Dennis, and all the fellows out there on the band. SWL 60 checking in.
60 checking in and sounded good doing it. When 1017 said you should hear how you sound on the stream, he was right. Sounding good. Thanks for checking in.
Well, thank you.
The Old Tube Radio Network, we're doing the SWL roll call. The tube radios will be coming in. Mighty Brian, the Mighty KUH, hello. Now, you know what? The 920 is still in its spot. I haven't quite figured out how to repurpose it. It's got a great AM receive. It's got a great transmit. It's a good general coverage receiver. So I did move the camera over. Let's see if it's even working on the wide shot. Yeah, it's kind of okay. It's just kind of boring watching me when I'm doing my thing. There's my SWR. I could improve on it, but yeah, it's a little bit colorful. Works good. But the 920 is going to be, I don't know, maybe we've got another radio room I can set up. Anyway, Brian, hope all is well. I hope your tube side and your transistor side radios are doing well. And let's see, get me checked in on the contest. This is Dennis out of California, and you don't even need that's what I like. You don't even need a signal report with the NACQP. That keeps things easy. Let's go over to SWL 61. 61, if you can hear me, Copenhagen, you're sounding good in Midtown Fresno. Thank you. Let me go back to, there you go, 61 is in SWL 62, of course. Botanero, North Dakota. King Duckford is in the house. Where is he? Somewhere out there. He might be on the mezzanine getting some of that popcorn from the Squamish boys, but we're glad to have you around tonight. Over to SWL 63. Shortwave listener 64. SWL 65.
SWL 65, check it.
65, Eric, I put an X in the square. You're sounding good tonight.
Thank you, Dennis. It's been a while, but finally made it up to the radio, and glad to be listening in. Could you also proxy 55 in also?
Will do. Back up the page, and Eminem's got to check in the square, too. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay, and King Duckford says, that level of noise from a preamp. Actually, I think I've got dual preamps on, and then I've got either attenuation. Oh, no, what I do is I roll off the RF gain. So if I don't do that, let me for the people asking, here's the signal level. That's dual preamps at about an S3.5, S4. But do you hear the noise that's in your receiver? So in order to not drive you nuts, I roll the RF gain up to minimize the noise a little bit for the SWLs. Should be good enough. Most of the signals coming in, even if they're weak, we'll get through that. So that's what's going on there when you see the S meter way up there and hear what's going on. So that's that trickery. Brian knows about that stuff. That's that trickery we use when we're down there on 75 meters and we got the headphones on and we don't want to go crazy, as you know. Let's go over to SWL 66. SWL 67. That's Bill up in Canby tonight. I have made sure that the keys are where they should be. Got myself in. I will get myself out, and all is well. Got you checked in, Bill, if you're watching. And New York 157. See if Mike is out and about. Sometimes he comes in a bit late. That's not a problem. I've got an X in the square if you're watching. Michael, you are checked in. SWL 69. Kenny was in earlier, live and direct from Tulsa on the video stream. Kenny, you are now officially checked in, but we did get you in there. And Brian, I'm using the J38. Oh, you can see it right underneath the meter. I'm using my old J38 key, and I've got it connected to the push-to-talk. Normally, I have a switch that will connect it to the key to do straight key, or to the back of the radio, and my switch is broken. So that's what I'm using. That's what you hear snapping. And this is... Oh, there's another one over here. You can't see it. I think that's my original J38 that I got when I was studying for my novice license back in the early 1970s. There is a story behind that J38 key, but I won't tell it right now. But so I ended up buying another one, but this is my secondary J38. But that was my novice key back there that tapped out my very first QSO on the Heathkit DX60B. over, I don't know, how long ago was it? 30 or 40 years ago? No, it wasn't that long. It was 30-something years ago. It was just prior to starting OTR. Direct-to-net roll call. We've got SWL 69 is in. How about SWL 70? Yeah, some of them say, what is it, Lionel on there? But it's a cool key. It's a nice, it's a good old workhorse. I must just tap this thing 10,000 times, keying up the radio and sending out my call and all that good stuff. 70. I wonder if Mark's ever had a J38 key. SWL 71, and that is Stan. He's working the NAQP as we speak with 200 plus QSOs. Working the West Coast has been great today. I was listening in. I didn't do a lot of radio. It should be going through tomorrow. I'll listen in. That's kind of if you're not a contester, it's really easy to get in. There's no 5 9s. It just remember your name and where you're at. And I think you're good to go. And everybody is having a good time. All right, Stan, good luck in the contest. Dennis in California. Give me a point or give yourself a point. Over to SWL 72. SWL 73. I'm going to John checked in. He's probably out doing the contest. Ms. Jilly, SWL 74, checked in. Getting feedback through my headphoniums here. SWL 75. SWL 76, Raccoon Radio Ranch. Not sure if you're out there. I will get you checked in. We'll look for you on the display. Over to SWL 77.
Well, good evening, Dennis, and all the listeners. 77 out here in the mobile, checking in and waving a hand. Glad to have everybody out here.
Awesome mobile radio, as we see on 11 meters, putting a good signal from your location. I think you've got one of those secret high-altitude things you can do when you're mobile. When you're an 11-meter rover, you're sounding good.
And you are correct. Thank you very much.
You got it. If you want to be the mobile operator, you got to know the spots. You've got that one down. Got you checked in. SWL 78, Richard in sometimes in Wild Wildemar, checking in, maybe via the remote. We will see. I think I saw you SWLing on one of the SDRs, Richard. So I know you are out there in Everett, where it's 37 degrees. You're having a heat wave compared to the Tennessee guys, huh? Okay, got you checked in. Then we've got SWL, and they're... Okay, they're pointing at the thing. Chet is back. All right, it's mail. Normally I pick up you're bringing the mail to me now. Why? What is it? What came in? I guess it must be exciting. Oh, look at this. Oh, it is exciting. All right, this is my ARRL. It came. Who opened the box? I didn't even get to open this. The Cycle 25 hat from ARRL. Pretty cool. I don't wear hats that much, but I think we sent away for this one because it was pretty cool. Cycle 25, and what else? A QSL card. I never get QSL cards. Look at this. It's kind of what happened to it. It looks like it got bent up, but it's here. K6FEJ. Oh, take a look. This is one of the official FEJ cards. From Voodoo Land. Yeah, okay. Voodoo Station Hello Radio. Great audio. Can I show this? Where's the close-up camera? I don't get that many SWL cards, so this is kind of a treat here. There it is. There it is. That is pretty darn cool. That is some great... I love the shot. It's sort of the Lake Almanor, not Elsinore. And, if I stop waving around here, the shack, the lake... and the voodoo rack, the rabbit hole and everything. Pretty cool. I don't know if you're listening, Mark, but if you're watching the replay or whatever, thanks for the card. Let me go back. It'll go up. The board is over here. Oops. The board is over here with my other cards. So that is probably where it will wind up. And we got the hat. Thanks for the mail. Thanks, Chet. I never do mail on the air here because I usually come in early and pick it up. All right, you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. We are looking for, I'm way behind, 77 we checked in. 78 we checked in. SWL 79.
79, check it in.
Sorry about that, Philip. I get carried away sometimes.
It's all good.
I know there's excitement on the radio, and we haven't even got to the tubes yet. Over to SWL 80. And let's see. Before we go to SWL 81, are they ready yet? Can we connect up to Bob and Steve and see what they are doing? Yeah, do we have the jingle for Bob and Steve? We get there. Okay.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
I actually, like, I've almost done this before. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. All right, let's see what's happening tonight on episode 99. Next week will be the 100th episode. Bob and Steve here joining us from the Old Tube Radio Network somewhere in Ohio. Maybe they're in Hawaii having a good time. I don't know. The Jingle Singers and All Want to Honor Martin Luther King Day was Monday. Yes, it was. They had a lot of activities here this year here in town. The Wednesday night poker tournament runs with tables packed. They love it. I am just not a poker person. I sort of watch. And I'll bring $10 in, and I will immediately leave without my $10. But, people have fun. That's why they do that. The chess tournament was won by, the kid. Yeah, that 11-year-old guy who won the chess tournament. What a brain. I don't even know the pieces. I just say, what is that castle thing? And he just kind of looks at me and says, oh, brother. And so he and his parents got a night on the town, the big red limo, and dinner. I know they enjoyed it, and well-deserved. Always glad to see when the limo is out and someone's getting their first limo ride and having a great time. At the bar tonight, key lime pie and coffee. I will substitute my coffee for Ovaltine, but they are saving a piece of key lime pie for me. And the Jingle Singers want to go on a weight loss program. Really? So we took away the Costco card. Well, I like this. I like this program already. From the balcony, don't throw any more popcorn. They're asking. And, of course, don't forget to feed the fish. If you throw the popcorn, well, just throw it into your mouth. Anyway, thanks, guys. Episode 99.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
OTR, we are heading towards the tube radio, so if you've got one, get it warmed up, and we will check it in for you. SWL, I'm still buying. What's wrong with my 78's checked in, 79's checked in, 80 is checked in, and the numbers aren't working. Are we going to have to do this like they used to do with the old weather boards, have a little magnetic thing that comes down or something? SWL 81, Mr. Unicorn, Steve Areno. Top of the page when we turned on the video. If you're still watching, Steve, we got you checked in. If you're watching the replay, we still got you checked in. Over to SWL 82.
82 checking in from the Ditch Banks, Biola, and I did not get my other radio stuff set up, but I made it out here just in time.
You did, and it still sounds good. I know how tough it is to get things set up, and then once you get them set up is to actually have them working properly. So your configuration of old is still doing the job.
All right, good deal. Well, maybe next week I'll have the Browning Eagle up and running as it should. So, all right, Dennis, thanks for doing the net, and definitely enjoy it. Take care. 72.
All right, that's Mr. Bones, the net control guy, typically for what's called the Ditchbank sideband net. I guess I need to be on microphone to do this right, don't I? Ditchbank sideband net on Friday evenings here in the Central Valley, 27,365, lower sideband. Sometimes there's conditions. There's always room for visitors and other check-ins if you're local and you've got a sideband radio. It doesn't have to be tubes or anything. This has nothing to do with tubes. It's about getting on the radio on Friday night and saying hello. Come out to the Ditchbanks sideband net, won't you? Let's go to SWL 83. SWL 84. Jerry and all the gang. Let me go over my left shoulder here and fire up the E.F. Johnson Messenger. 84 has a very nice sounding Swan radio he does the noontime net with. So I'm not sure if you can put 11-meter crystal in that thing or not, but it'd be cool if we could. Got you checked in. We'll also get the rest of the gang, 86, 87, and 88 Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. I had a power bump, and all my LCD clocks were flashing at me, so I think they got set up correctly. We were running around here trying to get all the clocks reset to WWV, and then went to 10 megahertz and couldn't hear anything, so I don't know what was up with that. Let's go to SWL 89. SWL 90. I got 90 checked in. SWL 91. I think Felix is in. If not, I'm going to put an X in the screen. Okay, I'm not looking at the right place. There are so many screens to which my attention can be diverted. I must do the right one. We've got the radio, we've got the hand clap, and we've got the check-in. Thank you, Felix, as always. The old Tube Radio Network over to SWL 92. SWL 93. SWL 95, Warthog 95, checking in from Orlando, Florida, where it's probably nice, having a good time. Don't know if you are doing any stuff in the contest, but we'll listen in. We'll listen in for the fours tomorrow when I turn things on. Close to home, SWL 96. SWL 97. See if Jim is out there tonight. And the Echolink link is up. The Echolink is up. We just don't have the TubeSat link to get the radios, but as you heard earlier, they are working on that. Node 354870. 354870, I believe, is the Echolink link node. Looking for SWL 98, and Tracy is right there. Saying hello to all on the net, 73. And the new colorful S meter. I've got to find a way to make it do something while I'm on that's a little less, boring. I can put it full screen, I guess. Over to SWL 99. SWL 100. Wonder what the weather is like down there in McClellanville, South Carolina. And speaking of 102 from Arkansas, if John is out there, 102, we've got you checked in. There it is, the big X in the square. I can't miss that red X. Let me make you official. Here's how it works. It'll say above me there, it says, if you're watching the video, it says checking in or checked in. If you see the checking in, That means I actually put the X in the square, and you are official. Let's go to SWL 103. And someone asking about SWL numbers. We have a list, and as we say at the beginning, this is not a club. It's not any special stuff. There's no secret handshake. No one is ever going to send you a bill at the end of the month. And so numbers are not necessary. Even tube radios are not necessary to join in and say hello and make some comments here on the old Tube Radio Network. We do have a list. It's sort of a finite number of lists, mainly because we only have so much paper and so much time. So at the end of 8 weeks, the 8-week roster, if someone hasn't checked in for a while, we'll say, well, we'll reissue that number. Maybe you've got better things to do, and we will have some numbers opened up for those who would like to get on the list. So keep that in mind. We are in week 2 of this 8-week period, so you keep listening. If we want to, we will have some numbers open up, no doubt, if indeed you need to do that. But of course, no numbers necessary on the old Tube Radio Network. Let's try SWL 109. I'm going to get Crawdad checked in. He was sounding good last night on Ditch Banks. A good, strong signal, great radio. Let's go to SWL 110. Shortwave listener 111, Robert Grunt, checking in via the oldtuberadio.net page earlier. Got Robert checked in. SWL 113.
Can you proxy, Tom?
Yeah, we'll get Tom checked in. SWL 113. Looking good out there near Sangertown. All right, and thanks for the nice comments, Jim. Yeah, no numbers necessary, but might be able to, if you're looking for a number, get one in on the list. But that way, you'll be like cornbread. You just don't check in. That way, you never get your number taken away. We don't take it away. It just kind of gets reissued. Let's go to SWL. Here's a guy that's been checking in for well over 30 years. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
All right, Mr. Rickshaw. Thank you, Wayne. Sounding good as always here on the old Tube Radio Network. SWL 128. That is John, who is probably checking in. Yeah, about an hour ago. Hope you're all doing better out that way. Hope things are going the right direction. Get out and about and get life back to normal and get on the air, all that good stuff. Anyway, glad to see you out on the net here tonight. Over to SWL 131. SWL 133. All right, 133. Dave out there in Northwest Fresno. Got you in, Dave. Thanks. And then shortwave listener 135.
KD6GFD. This is KD6QLG.
All right, got you checked in officially at the right time. KB6GFD.
Thanks a lot, Dennis. KD6QLG clear.
And from the cross band, Mr. Green Arrow 135, who is giving us a little old Tube Radio teaser with the thought that, sometimes the radios come with a mobile bracket and a mobile power cord to go off a 6 or 12 volt DC, so maybe he's going to show us how all that might work. Let's go over to SWL 137. Got a proxy in for 137. And then up to Course Gold, SWL 145. Hello, Tony.
Well, good evening time, Dennis. Tony 145 in Course Gold. Yeah, I have to email the questions from Friday to the Saturday morning net control guys, so I figured I'd just send them to you too. And I believe I sent you a video too. I was curious Did you get those emails?
Yeah, I've got them. I got the other question. I haven't watched the video. It was about an antenna. Is that correct?
Yeah, about the Woolen Weber?
Yeah, I want to watch that because I'm sort of in an antenna mode around here, so it looks good. Yeah, I had a super early doctor appointment that started, believe it or not, before the net on Friday, so I missed hearing the questions live and direct. I always like to see how many people can get into those. But thanks for that. I will look and see if they've stumped me or not.
Okay, a lot of my emails haven't been going through lately. I was just curious if you got yours. And yeah, like I said, I have to email the Friday questions anyway for the Saturday morning guy. I hope you don't mind I send them to you too when I don't hear you on Friday mornings.
Yeah, not a problem. Like I said, I usually try to make it, but I was not even at the radio the other day. So yeah, do that. What I'll do is I'll send a confirmation back just to make sure we got a two-way path on this. Okay, thanks, Tony, for checking in. You are sounding good here on AM. And then I will go over to SWL 147, who was in the queue long ago. And what he said scrolled past me, but I will get it fired up. We'll see what's happening in Kakalaki. 5 inches of snow yesterday. Below 20 degrees tonight. That's the guys I was hearing on 75 meters we're talking about, just below 20-degree weather that's just kind of totally unusual. It says you get snow once a year or less. We get about once every 15 years here, but anything below 20, and you're going to have problems with pipes freezing, and this is around here in the valley. It is just not set up to be freezing rain and freezing snow. Well, hopefully the antennas are okay, and it will warm up, as it obviously will, but that cold spell is creating some havoc. Thanks, Neil, for checking in here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 188.
188 Snow Beast checking in.
Run 88, you are sounding good, sir. We've got you checked in for another Saturday evening. Thanks for stopping by.
You got it. Evening time to everybody.
And then let's go up to Course Gold. The Course Gold Starliner, SWL 195.
195, checking in, Dennis. Good evening.
All right, great. Good evening, Jim, and all the gang up there. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Over to SWL 225, Mr. Shockwave. And any other stations that would like to check in, say hello, radio, we are going to head to the tube radios. I'm a little bit behind here, so who else is out there? All right, stand by. I'm going to have to pull some wires, change some cables, get ready for the tubes. It won't take a minute or two, and then we will be back with the favorite part of this net, and that's the tube radio section where you get to display your tube radios. The Old Tube Radio Network back in moments. This is your old tube radio network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Your old tube radio network since 1985, 1986, when a group of us all got together and said, you know what, there's got to be a way to check out and talk on our tube radios and have fun and not get mixed up with some of the things that go on. And so the Tube Radio Network was started with people just chatting on their tube radios, as we like to do. So thanks for joining us. I hear my voice coming back. We'll get that fixed. But what I want to do is say it is your turn. Take a transmission. Who wants to check in on a tube radio?
Number 7.
All right, let's get started here at about 9:14. Hello, Ed. See if you can fire something up that I can find on my Rolodex. I bet you can.
Well, probably can. I'm hoping this one's working halfway decent. Haven't had it on for quite some time. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223 with a Silver Eagle D104 attached.
It is working. It might be the one I heard earlier. We'll check frequency and all that good stuff. The E.F. Johnson 223. I know I've got a shot of that. I've got one beaconing behind me, Messenger 223. We'll start with the one that shows the standard microphonium, the modulation light, and we'll go from there. Take a transmission on radio number 1 tonight.
There you go. Yes, I do not have the original Johnson microphone, so I had to attach this one. I got the radio for really cheap, so I couldn't pass it up. Anyway, this one has also been, the light bulbs for the meter and the channel selector has been changed out to a blue LEDs. So my Johnson has blue bulbs. That and also the little spots where the lines are under your dials and stuff there, they have buffalo nickels in there.
Wow, this is a one-of-a-kind custom. Have you ever looked up the dates? Sometimes the dates are rubbed off, but look up the dates of the buffalo nickels and then go to one of those references and find out, hey, these are worth $1.26.
Yes, actually, I have coin books and stuff like that. I used to collect them, so yeah, they're not of any worth really. So yeah, they just look good.
They look good, and they serve their purpose for a customized E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, coming in at about just under 20 over, so a very good signal. Go ahead and take a transmission, and I will see if I can do the 0 beat. Find out where you are on the frequency scale here.
Yes, I do believe I'm. See, the last time I checked, it was at 8.2 something, somewhere around in there. So hopefully you've got enough there to tell me where exactly I'm at.
Yeah, you are at 82.4, 82.4. So a lot of stations that might be listening in locally are going to say, who's that guy talking on sideband? But I have my receiver bandwidth opened up to about 15K, which means it's probably about, 5 or 6K wide. So that's why when I'm at center, you still sound like you should. So I do that on purpose, just for the fact that if somebody's a little bit off, or maybe a lot off, we would still be able to hear them like yourself. And it does change the tone quality. Take another transmission. I'll go ahead and dial in on AM to your frequency, and those listening in on the audio, we should hear a difference in the tone quality. So take a transmission.
There you go. Okay, yep, a little off on the frequency, so the radio's a little off, and the radio operator is also a little off. But yeah, you should probably have that about there.
Yeah, and also you come up to about 20 over, so on the meter, and we get a little bit more of the low frequencies shifting you into the right pass band. Radio number 1, E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, and you probably told me you do or do not have the modulation meter on your radio, over.
No, this one does not have the modulation meter, so I do have a watt meter in line now, so I can see if a radio is not doing what it's supposed to.
All right, and there is one of the versions of the radio without the red mod light meter. According to Harvey, that's a circuit that's actually inside, and they just brought it out, or they took it away. I can't remember which one. But the older models, they took it away, or the newer models, they put it back in, but it was in there. And if you have one that doesn't have it, it's probably not too hard to figure out how to get it going. A beautiful radio, really nice with the custom case, the nice metal edges, the bright chrome. Really a good-looking radio, functional S-meter, 23 channels. A good radio to start out your collection. If indeed someone is thinking about that, look for this radio, Johnson Messenger 223. You probably can't go wrong.
Oh, no. Definitely a simple radio, super simple. Turn it on, volume, squelch, of course, your channel selector, and you do need to have the microphone plugged into the radio to have receive, though. So that was always kind of weird. All right, with that one, we'll let you get to some more tube radios.
All right, from Waseca, Minnesota, it reminds me, we need to see if we can get a hold of radio ham guy Larry out there in Minnesota, not too far from Waseca. I think he said he worked in the E.F. Johnson factory back in the 1980s, said it was a great place to work. This radio sold for about $200, maybe a little bit more if you got the supplied Johnson desk mic with it. It was their base radio only ran 115 volts. The mobile versions earlier were the Messenger and the Messenger 2. This is the 223, basically a Messenger 2 chassis sideways with 23 channels and an S meter added. It's in Sam's CB23, book 23, page 53, and I think it says, if you go to oldtuberadio.com, there might even be a schematic that you can pick up there. If you were lucky enough to be around in 1969 through 1972, maybe you bought one and had one brand new out of the box. The Old Tube Radio Network, thanks for bringing by radio number 1. And we are standing by listening for radios 2, 3, 4, and 5.
45?
And hello, Paul. Can you hear me down here in Fresno? Over.
Yeah, I was trying to get by this noise. So far, I can make a little bit of it out, but boy, I mean, it's something else. Hey, I dug out an old air console 23-02 out.
All right, that'll be easy. Let me put the Rolodex back up to the A's. And I think you said it was a 23-02. I'm going to bring one up here. And yeah, that does look familiar. Let me put that on the screen, and we'll go back to you for a transmission on the Air Castle. Over.
Okay, that's the one. Pretty neat little radio. This thing is manufactured, made by Courier. And it's the same as the Fanfare 2300, which I have here warmed up too. I'm going to try to check it in. They're a twin. I thought we'd kill two birds with one stone. Set it and check it out also. I'll give a rundown of the 23 channel with a blank between 22 and 23 for extra channels. Really neat little radio, and it seems to work pretty well. Back to you.
Works really well. Nice audio. The Fanfare Courier, so this was probably a Courier chassis. I like the way they did the little holes for the speaker. And I'm trying to rack my memory here. The Air Castle maybe was sold through the Spiegel catalog. It was sold through some catalog. I want to say Microwave Words or Spiegel. And there's the Air Castle. Someone was talking about at Bob and Steve's show. Looks like that piece on the chess set. Was it the Rook? Anyway, it's got the castle there. Audio is good. Take a transmission. I'll check the frequency on it. It's doing a good job. If you can hear me, over.
Yeah, okay. I was Fanfare was So not a real old radio, pretty modern as far as the tubes go. Neat little radio. I'll tell you, this is brown, same as that one. And my other one that I got, I'm going to check out, is my Fanfare 23. It's blue. So I guess you might as well kill two birds with one stone. Back to you.
All right, sounding good. Sounding good. And 23's could do, helping us out here in the archives. The Aircastle 2302 is the Panasonic first generation chassis. That's what we're listening to tonight. I need to crawl under the desk because something happened down here. And find whatever went flying off the table. Okay, here it is. All right, that's not good. I need that. All right. The old Tube Radio Network. All right. Something went crashing under the radio desk here. Sometimes you have these mishaps on the air. Aircastle, Panasonic first generation chassis, Spiegel catalog radio. Thank you. Montgomery Ward's was airline. Yeah, because I have an airline radio in the living room. So take another transmission, Paul, while I put my station back together. Over.
Okay. Boy, this noise is switched to a higher pitch, and it's terrible. I'll be checking my one in, and if you can hear it, I'll be checking in pretty soon. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, it's doing a good job. Aircastle 2302. Wanted to say, oh, hey, Big Rich is in. 6520 is in. What's the link for the Echo link? That is a good question. I should have it memorized by now, but I don't because it changes. The Echo link is, and I wrote it down on the wrong piece of paper, 354870. 354870 should get you onto the old Tube Radio link up like that. Hello. Oh, Paul is in. Hello, Paul. Paul Z is also watching us tonight. We are listening for radio number 3 after the 11 Tube. Second generation Aircastle 2302. I think we got this right now. You're listening to the old Tube Radio Network. Can the jingle singers get me out of this? Are we ready? Are we ready for the jingle? I am certainly ready for the jingle singers. You are listening to the old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
Number 7.
All right, number 7. Let me get back to the control room here. Mark you down on the list. We'll call it 9:25. That's Pacific regular time. My clock is off. My UTC clock is off. So I think my minutes are okay at 26, but the hour is probably not right. So I will check that. Anyway, give us your radio.
The good old Browning Golden Eagle, Mark III SSB.
Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. I sort of guessed it had to be at least a separate transmitter receiver from the ping, but it has that Browning Laboratories ping for sure. Let me bring up a picture. We'll go with the one that has the Golden Eagle, the Golden Microphonium, and we'll go back to you.
There you go. Yep, I'll have the gold-plated D104 Golden Eagle, so the Gold Eagle with a Gold Eagle. Yeah, just like the one you have there in the picture, only that one's Cliff's, and this one is mine.
Yes, it is. I don't know if Cliff has checked in on that one in a while or not, so it's good that we have a representative for the fans of Browning. You know, talking about today on with the Audio Guru guys about tube rolling and the 12 AX7s and the RCA command tubes. Have you ever delved into that and check to see? I guess it was the 12 AX7s, and in those I think there's 6 BEQ5s as well. Have you ever checked in to see what if the tubes are the original tubes or not? They say Browning on them.
There used to be more in there, but yeah, there is actually a couple that are Browning still. But no, there's quite a few that had to be replaced, and a few other little diodes and other things. Luckily, Red Monkey was still here, and they fixed the radio.
Gotta love Red Monkey. I think Superloop Greg has probably info on his book, perhaps about the proper tube or tube rolling for that radio. Sounds good, though. Not that I'm not suggesting that it needs it at all. It definitely sounds good. Let me bring back the S meter. Will give you a signal report on your next transmission. Go ahead.
There you go. Well, good old Brownings usually tend to put out some pretty decent little wattage, so it's probably do a little bit more than the 4 watts it was intended to.
Probably does. At 25, almost 25 over S9, looking and sounding pretty good. I think I should probably increase my AGC speed on the meter. It might be a little bit more responsive. Sounds good, looks good. Radio number 3, the Browning Golden Eagle. The Mark III version, after the Mark II, out from 1972 to about 1976, only because they had to go to 40 channels, as per the FCC. Would it cost you at least probably $600 to $700 back then? And my guess is a new one in good condition might cost you that much now.
Oh, there you go. Well, I didn't pay that much for this one, luckily. But with that, we'll get at least one more radio on the air.
135 mobile.
All right, we will get another radio on the air. Thank you, Ed. And 135 mobile, we hear you. Can you hear net control over?
Yes, thank goodness. Yes, you can hear me, and I can hear you just fine. Let's see, is it my turn?
It is your turn. You will be, if indeed you have a radio, you will be radio number 4, over.
I do indeed. I am out here in the chilly Mobile with a radio from Bristol, Indiana. This is the Demco Travelier. The Demco Travelier. 23-channel crystal-controlled transmit and VFO receive with 3 memory channels for your selected receiving pleasure. Back to you.
All right, the Demco Travelier, and it has been a long time since we have checked in a Demco of any flavor. And I remember, who remembers back in the day when DD21 would have the Demco bell at the ready to ring the Demco bell when we got a radio. 21, if you've got the bell, go ahead and ring it. Not only do we have a Demco, but it's in the mobile. It's a Travelier. I've got the picture, which I think is the base configuration of your radio. Let me put it up. It's a Travelier. It has the modulator, the Demco modulator with it, and it has the power supply. So I'm assuming you probably don't have those two pieces. There is a white cream-colored microphonium that's going into the modulator. So I will go back to you to explain what it is you had to do to move things off this table and into the mobile, over.
Oh, not that much, believe it or not. I just disconnect it and bring it out here and plug it into the vehicle where I have a black and red cord and a T connector all ready to go. I am talking on the original Sonotone CM30 microphone, as pictured. It's a little white plastic microphone with a white coily cord. That's the Sonotone Charlie Mike 30 microphone. And, oh yes, I forgot to mention it's got 12 tubes. This has a lot of tubes in it for one little mobile radio. It's a 12-tube radio, but 23 channels, so I guess you get what you're going for.
Yeah, it's got nice audio. This is quite a fancy radio to have mobile. You've still got the 2 dials, got the S meter. I can see the mobile mounting bracket, and I'm chuckling. I'm looking at that microphone. reminds me of something that came out of an old Wallensack tape recorder, but it's still putting out, it's not a lot of low frequencies, but it's definitely putting out some good punchy communication audio over.
Yeah, you know, it does kind of look like that. I actually have a Wallensack in the garage. Yeah, it is kind of like that microphone. But yeah, it is the one that came with it originally. And, oh yeah, it's got a flashing modulation light. And one of the cool things is that here in the car, it illuminates the whole inside of the car. There's a lot of lights coming out of this thing. Not just from the front, but it's all perf metal, you know, around the top and sides. So it really lights up the inside of the vehicle here. And, which looks kind of cool and provides some warmth out here in the cold. Oh, I can't remember what else I was going to say about it. Vertical meter, which goes backwards to my way of thinking. As signals increase, that needle moves down instead of up. So that's odd.
Well, maybe that's where the phrase comes from, getting down. So to have that 60 over S9, you need to get down on the Demco Travelier meter. This still seems like a bit of a complication for mobile radio. You still have both a transmit and receive, so are you needing to spot, you know, when you get your frequency of choice to transmit on, do you still need to spot yourself to find the receive?
Yes, you do. Technically, I don't, because one of my 3 memory channels there on the lower right is where the memory channel things is. I have one of them set to 11, but right now I'm on the tune, so I can zero people in. And that is a free VFO. And yes, all the way at the bottom of that lower right knob is a selection called Calibrate. And you hit that and you get a little tone, which rises and falls depending on where you're at from your transmit frequency. So in other words, in this case, you want the tone to go up to its highest point, and then as you go further away, the tone goes down.
Okay, now that is very interesting, and engineers thinking that you aren't going to be wanting to take your eyes off the road, so listen for the tone, tune to that, and away you go. In theory, you might have tuned, like you said, tune to the channel before you start, or have it in your memory banks. Pretty cool. Not bad for a mobile radio. I think this is our first... I can't remember if you've ever done the Demco mobile before. If you have, it's been a long, long time. We have a lot of fans of Demco. There's a Facebook page that's Demco. So I hope some of those people are watching this tonight or maybe being referred to this portion of the video on the replay. The year for this radio, 1963 through 65. I think you said 12 tubes. So, yeah, lights up and heats up the automobile.
Oh, yeah, and I've checked it in mobile many times, as well as in the base station configuration, which I will do sometime soon, as soon as it warms up enough out here. I'll check it in the base station configuration, and maybe use a desk mic. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But I think I checked it in last May or June in the mobile. So I get it. At least once a year, I do try to check this in mobile.
All right. Well, where are the benefactors of that? Our Old Tube Radio Network, our SWLs, the listeners, the viewers. I'm going to, as I've been doing tonight, do the frequency check because it's easy to do. See where you're at on the Demco. See how those crystals are holding up from 1963. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see if it's... Yeah, it's got crystals for all 23 channels. It says in the book and everything, anyway, because that's all there were at the time, just the 23 channels. And let's see if you've got me zeroed in there yet. Let's see, my modulation indicator is indicating that I have modulation. So, how does that figure? Where am I at?
Looking good. 84.4. What did we say before? The FCC allowed that 700 cycles off from center, so you're well within that. Not a problem. Anybody hearing you, even on a narrow band radio. So all is well. It's dialed in. It looks cool just sitting there with the two dials. You could probably leave it on when you leave the car, and someone would think you have the most coolest, baddest theft deterrent device and never break in.
I wonder what people would think. They wouldn't have any idea what it was. There's enough chrome all over this thing. You're saying it looks pretty cool. If I check this thing in the daytime, I'm going to have to wear sunglasses. It's just all kinds of chrome, which is pretty cool. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the net, and I'll get out of here before they come and get me.
Ha ha, hee hee ho ho. The funny farm where life is beautiful. And they have Demco Traveliers. The picture that you may be seeing, if you're at one of the video audio sites, is of the Demco Travelier and Microphonium, which we are hearing. Cliff is in his mobile. He did not take the Demco modulator, nor did he need the power adapter, the power supply, which configures it for the bass configuration. So the Travelier, I guess if you were a true Demco fan and you bought the big satellite base station, this would be your other radio on your license class. So you can say KEO 8492 base to Mobile 1. Sounding good. Thanks for the extra effort tonight, Cliff. I know it's a little bit cold out there tonight, so that was a good choice with all those 12 tubes. Thanks for radio number 4. And we have someone may be back. We might have to change a proxy check. And before we do the jingle singers, it is your favorite place. It is my favorite place to be on a Saturday evening, and it is certainly theirs. Back in about 20 seconds.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you. And
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
And I'm going to inquire, did someone make it back to the Radio Shack? Over.
Yeah, but I can barely talk. This is the off-the-shelf Browning Gold Eagle Mark III SSB. I'll do one more tonight, but I'm going to rest for about 15 minutes.
All right, I was going to suggest that maybe you should rest for about 15 hours. Anyway, Harvey, thanks for joining us. In that 15 minutes, get yourself some hot tea and some other things, and get ready for bed, because we want you to be here next week to check in some radios. The OTS Browning always sounds good. It has great audio, and you orchestrate the ping no matter what Browning you're on. I can tell you are a very good conductor. I can always tell your orchestrated ping. You are radio number 5, and I've got you checked in. Over.
You betcha. Okay. Back in about 10 or so.
All right, thanks for that, and then we are going to get you into bed post-haste. Hey, Paul, how is the noise level, and can you still copy net control over?
Yeah, this will be the last one. I'm going to move with my iPads right here a little bit better. It's awful. Anyways, what I tell you about, this is my fanfare radio, the same as the last one I checked in. Different name on it. It's a fanfare M2300.
All right, looking for the fanfare, the XM2300. I believe Cliff has one of those. He's checked in one before, and it is from his collection. And you are right. Boy, what a very similar-looking radio to the Air Castle. Obviously, the color scheme is different. Let's go to the larger picture. Anybody liking green radios, you've got to like the Fanfare XM2300, as 23 Skidoo mentioned, one of the second-generation Panasonic chassis and sounding good. Take another transmission, Paul. Over.
Okay, that one's green. Mine's blue. I think mine's prettier than that one, but that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I'm talking on with a Turner Plus 3 amplified desk mic on the thing, and I hope it's coming down. I'm anxious to hear what it sounds like on the archives. But long to get back to my iPad, and I think I'll shut them down for the evening. I'll just be listening. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, sounding good. I was going to put the S meter up. You see, the audio is so good. I've got the RF gain set. Don't go away, Paul. I want you to make another transmission. I've got the RF gain set pretty tight here, and Paul is not even coming up on the S meter. But listen to the audio on this radio. Take another transmission.
Yeah, I wish I had an RF gain on this thing. But I don't have it on it. We've got a fine-tune control on the channel. No RF gain. I miss it too. So it makes quite a difference.
Okay, yeah, I turned the RF gain down. You're an S7 modulating up to S8. My noise level is actually about an S4. But even when I rotate the RF gain up to S9, you still have great audio on that radio, and that's one of the Panasonic chassis always did. Perfect radio. It is number 6, sounding good tonight, Paul. Thanks for the radios. Tune us in at oldtuberadio.net, and we will be listening for radio number 7.
7.
And there is 7. Let me set my receive. Bringing it about S8. Also, mentioned on our prior, step up into the air chair, Ed, our prior radio, the M2300 Blue and the XM2300 Green are twins. Thank you. I mistakenly put in M, or XM, the M2300. The XM2300 has a new Vister front end that the M2300 does not. Very interesting. So the M2300 Fanon, the XM2300 fanfare. I'm trying to think. I was probably going to buy one of those as my very first big bass radio when they came out, and I ended up getting, I think I mentioned this before, I ended up going to Radio Shack and getting the Navajo, the first Navajo bass, the TRC-23B instead. And I think it was just because little did I know back as a high school student that those tubes would be worth way more than that transistorized Radio Shack. Although it was a good radio. It had some issues, but it was a good radio. But I think I would have enjoyed the Fanon fanfare even more. Thanks, 23 Skidoo, for that. Let's go over to Radio 7. Over.
Here we are for another fan of the green radios, the Tram TR27E 23-channel transmit and receive, although actually it's teal. Case is a black case there, and it's got a nice 5x7 speaker and a huge S meter that I can see even without my glasses. And, of course, the Electro Voice 638 microphone.
Don't you love it? All right, so in theory, our last radio wasn't green, even though the picture we showed was. This one is closer.
KB6GFD, K6MTS.
This is closer to green.
K6GFD, there, Dennis. K6MTS.
And let's pick up a check in here. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got you on the crossband KB6GFD. No problem, sir.
Thanks, man. I got you about S1. So, all right, thank you.
All right, got you checked in, KB6GFT. All right, that's SWL70. I have a weird thing going. Next time Mark is on, I'll have to see. You're a mile away from me, Ed. See if he can hear you. See if the rock is in your way as well up there in Morgan Canyon. Radio 7, the Tram TR27E. Back to you. I'll even get a better picture here.
There you go. I see on the screen there. Looking at Old Tube Radio Network on OTR, or Old Tube Radio. And yes, that is the very radio on which I am speaking. That is my radio. Although that one does not have the mic plugged into it, but yes. And it is definitely large. Another guy was commenting on it's almost the size of my amplifier for the ham radio.
I want to say that they carried that over. The next radio that came after this was the Tram Titan. Not the Titan 2, but the Tram Titan. And I think they kept the same meter. And this is very similar to what I had on one of my Helicopters radios. They used to have the big meters. It's almost like watching television, huh? When your station's coming in, you just sit there and watch the meter.
Oh, yeah. Meter goes into the green, and yeah, it's a 60 dB meter, so hardly anyone ever reaches that. Although I think neighbor right down the street, if he really gave it a shot, he might be able to.
Good deal. A quick explanation. I know we've talked about it before, but some new listeners tonight, the Tram TR-27E, the last of the series of the 27s and the Trams back in, I want to say, 63 or 64. It is a dual in one box, like Trams do, but it's a separate receiver, separate transmitter. The receiver's the big dial. There's a tunable VFO on the top. Is it done in channels, or does it actually have the frequencies as well, like Browning did?
No, it doesn't have the frequencies like Browning. Just the crystal numbers. That's it. Just for 11, 10, whatever. Yeah, and of course the window for the transmitter channel is really small.
Yeah, it's down below the S meter. It says XMIT channel. There's a little cutout window. It's probably illuminated, so once you get that in there, it's okay. Maybe they didn't. It's crystal controlled, as it has to be. There is a, let's see, Xtel receive. So the socket under the S meter is for receive only, right?
That is correct. In fact, in that very picture, right underneath the squelch knob, you can see a crystal sitting down there, and that was one that I used to fit in there.
All right, there it is. So you pop in the crystal to the receive. There is a slide switch on the other side of your transmit channel. So let's say you don't want to have to keep rotating that knob back and forth. Let's say you have friends on channel 2 and somebody on channel 23. Let's say it's channel 11. So you've got the channel 11 receive crystal because you're on OTR. Keep your transmit 11, crystal 11, and then not on Saturday nights, you're dialing around, you find somebody and you get your transmitter there. Okay, makes sense. Works well, so yeah. Channel 11 would be a great crystal, put in that on receive, all that stuff. Oh, when you transmit, I know all these questions I keep forgetting to ask. When you transmit, what happens to that S meter? Does it show modulation? Does it move around? Does it go to 0? Over.
Oh, no, it definitely shows the output, and it shows a little bit of swing in there. And, of course, there's also the little neon modulation light that blinks at the voice peaks.
Oh, and that is, MOD. All right, that's down. I got it. It's under the red cap there, but it will illuminate or intensify with more towards 100% mod, right?
That is correct. So on little voice peaks and little modulation, yep, it's sitting there flashing, telling me that it is doing something.
All right, a good 20 over S9. I think the, what was your other radio? The Browning was a little bit higher than that. And the E.F. Johnson, I can't remember what I said, maybe 10 over, but that's part of that was the frequency issue. Speaking of frequency, I'll do the 0 beat on your next transmission. Thanks for bringing by Radio 7, SWL7. Back to you.
Darn, I don't remember where this one's at. I know it is not right on the 5, so it's a little bit off, but I don't think it's anywhere near as off as my Johnson. So there you are.
All right, 83.8. So you're a little over KC. Again, I'm listening really wide. You'd have to have a pretty narrow receiver. I bet if you had a not a Browning, but the Regency Imperial, they had that front end tightened up because it was a sideband radio. And I remember if somebody was a little bit off, I could hear it. But definitely sounds good. No problemo.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Radio 7, the Tram TR27E, a good radio back in 1963, and it's almost 2023, right? Just around the corner, and it's still going strong. Speaking about going strong, the Jingle Singer is always doing that. There's a friendly place to be on Saturday. You are there. The Jingle Singers are telling you about it right now.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all and
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
We are listening for radio number 8.
Breaker OTR.
The Breaker OTR. You have indeed broken OTR. Go ahead, please.
This is SWL 40 checking in my GTX 5000.
Hey, sounds like you have climbed the stairs, made it to the Radio Shack such that it is, found the SO239 connector, unwrapped it out of the foil, connected it to the radio, and it is the GTX 5000. Is that what you said? Over?
Yes, the Gemtronic GTX 5000. This is a 40-channel old tube radio.
Right, first 40 channel tonight. In 1976, the FCC, after noticing that there seemed to be some shenanigans taking place above channel 23 and everywhere else, decided maybe they could channelize some more frequencies, which they did, and meaning that's to say you need to be crystal controlled or synthesize controlled, and so the manufacturers sort of busted their behinds to try and appease the FCC and make some 40-channel radios to sell, because the FCC said, oh, by the way, we don't want you selling those 23-channel radios anymore. So they took a lot of their chassis, like the Panasonic number 2 chassis, and figured out a way to extend the frequency coverage. And hence you have one like this, the GTX 5000. We're glad you made it to the shack. Take a transmission. Take an old buzzard transmission if you wish.
Well, if I were to take a transmission to make up for my entire absence, your computer might overheat. But yeah, it's been a while. I had to duct tape some of the bite marks and the coax from all the little annuals I have, and you know, do some cleaning and all that. I'm working on my other radio, getting that going, my Kimwood, and that should be on the air soon. And I'm selling some of my TV gear. I've sold some already, and gonna be selling more, and so working down the piles of stuff I don't need.
In with the old and out with the old and out with the new, and just in and out with everything. Well, it's good. Your antenna's still working. You've got a good 5/S9 signal. So doesn't seem like there's any shorts in the coax or bad things. No humming, buzzing, clicking. It's just good old Panasonic 3rd generation radio. Only 9 tubes. What did they do? How did they only put 9 tubes into that? Was Madman months around pulling out the tube saying, oh, if we make it 8-tube radio, it doesn't work, we'll put that 9th tube back in. It sounds really good. It was originally sold in 1977 for $329.95. So I'm sure if somebody said they would pay you that for it, now we would probably not be hearing that radio next week.
Well, you know, that's actually in 1970s dollars. So if you convert that over to 2020 dollars, well, you know, it's going to be a little more.
Yeah, well, according to the 23 Skidoo archives, the GTX 5000 has the dubious distinction of being the most expensive Panasonic ever. Chrissy's saying, and rightly so, that it looks a lot like the Robin T123B, yeah, probably a little bit on the inside, and probably looks even more, I'm going to say this looks even more like the Robin T240D, which I think it is a clone of. Maybe, I don't think the Gemtronics got all the front panel accoutrements that the Robins did, but basically the same radio on the inside. It's good to hear you on the air. You are Radio 8 on the 22nd day of 2022. Doing a good job. Thanks for climbing up the stairs and hooking the antenna up. Over.
Roger and Dodger, and lo and behold, this radio, it appears it was made in Japan.
I do believe so. Panasonic, it was a Japanese company, I do believe, back when the Japanese radios coming in, the Kenwoods and Yaesus and going away were the Swans and the Drakes, and that's how these things happen.
All right, Roger Dodger. And for those others listening, tell everyone that Larry 785 is back on the air.
So you got down, you got funky, and we've got proof of it. Thanks for stopping by on the Old Tube Radio Network. And I think there's a possible radio that would like to be number 9 before we sign out here.
Number 9? Number 9. The Browning Golden Beagle, Part 68, T68, from Browning Laboratories. Custom D104.
Custom. What? When you say custom, in 25 words or less, now remember, 25 words or less, what is custom about that D104? Over.
Whoops. Hold on. Has the Browning medallion on the back of the head of the D104.
Okay, got it. So similar to, I think, Ed came in with one of those earlier with I think his was, they called it the Golden Eagle. So is yours a Golden Eagle then?
Golden Eagle, R68, T68.
All right, R68, T68. This is the first Browning to wear the Golden Eagle badge. Prior to that, the R27S23 was the Eagle, and then the rest is history between the Golden Eagle Mark II and the Mark II train and the Mark III and the Mark IV. Harvey, thank you so much for stopping by. Please get some rest. Hopefully you do not have to work tomorrow or maybe the next day or the next day, but indeed, we've got you checked in.
Yeah, I think I'm taking tomorrow off. And maybe Monday. Okay. Catch you next week, hopefully.
Yeah, you are required to be here next week. Thanks for joining us. The radio's sounding good. Yeah, it must be the custom ping. I think the other custom ping was you put was it the paper clip or the bobby pin on the D104 to give it that sort of eagle style noise. The Old Tube Radio Network, we are counting and amounting. It is at the top of the hour, but there is still room on the page if you'd like to get checked in on a radio, or perhaps you need to get checked in on the SWL list as well. The Old Tube Radio Network is listening and counting.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
Right, the Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark, something we do here most Saturdays, 27085 Channel 11, streaming at oldtuberadio.net. There's a YouTube thing that happens, I don't know how. They've installed cameras and put in lights and done all sorts of fancy things. But the most part is a get on the air night, whether it's here on the Old Tube Radio Network, maybe Old Radio Night with JT, or something you do. That's what we're encouraging you to do, is get on the air. Also, Cycle 25. Where's the Cycle 25 hat? Came through the mail tonight. Cycle 25 is starting up, and so those of you who are thinking about, or maybe you already have your ham radio tickets, need to upgrade, get into that HF mode, take the test, build the radio. There's all sorts of great radios out there. Get in the Cycle 25 thing, because believe me, when CB radio is so crowded, every channel is 20 over S9, you will enjoy the fact that you can go to some other frequencies and have a piece of wire and about 25 watts and make some conversations to many, many people. So keep up the good work there if you're studying for your exams. I know there are few and far between because of the COVID things, but keep it up. And we will be doing some counting and amounting here in just one moment. All right, and the station out there, yeah, the Old Tube Radio Network, we're here every Saturday. And no tube radio required to join in and take a transmission. Thanks for listening in tonight. We're going to be tallying up the radios, see what we did tonight here.
You're tune to
OTR. Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
And then they said,
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. It's time now for the current OTR totals.
the current and final OTR totals on your Old Tube Radio Network. Let me grab the official papers, as we sign off the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. We had a total of 77 SWL check-ins. Of course, you don't need to have a number to play along. Just grab the home game. Follow along with us. 13 check-ins on page 1, 20 on page 2, 21 on page 3, 23 on page 4, for a total of 77. Not too bad. And 9 radios. The most heard manufacturer turned out to be the Brownings, but we had some very interesting radios tonight, a mobile check-in, some manufacturers we haven't heard from in a while. Started off with the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, the customized version out of Ed's Radio Shack with LED lights, buffalo nickels. This one is raring to go. Maybe it was owned by Zsa Zsa Gabor at one time. I don't know. It is a special fancy radio. Radio number 2, Air Castle 2302 from Paul. And he did that with a purpose. It was a Fanon Courier clone, and he came back later with another version of that Panasonic chassis one. Radio number 3, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. Also from the collection of Mr. Ed. The Demco Travelator. Not only was it a Demco, not only did JT get the ring the bell, but it was configured up in the mobile mode tonight, direct from the Green Arrow Mobile. The Demco Travelator with the Demco Microphonium making its debut for 2022. Thanks, Cliff, for the extra effort I'm putting in the Travelator tonight. Harvey on the west side, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III off-the-shelf radio, sounding good. That has got some great audio on it. Radio number 6, Paul on the Fanon Fanfare M2300, XM2300, a version of the Panasonic number 1 chassis, also done by Air Castle. I think those were fairly reasonable. Those might have been in the $129, $140 range back in the early 1970s. So if you wanted a good-sounding tube radio, that's what you should have done, instead of going to Radio Shack and buying that realistic Navajo thing. Radio number 7, the Tram TR27E from 1963. Thanks to Ed for that. Larry, good to hear 40 on the air. His Gemtronics GTX 5000, the radio works, the antenna works, and we thank you for checking that in. And then, as you heard moments ago, Harvey on the west side. Good night, Harvey. Oh, he's sound asleep already. Get well. Take care. The R68 T68 Browning Lavatories Golden Beagle on your Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Should be here next week. There is the contest, the NACQP, if you're out doing some contesting. That's an easy one to do. Get on the air, have a good time, and we will all look for you next week on your Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Thanks, Dennis, and thanks to Bozo Control.
All right, I didn't break anything. I don't smell any smoke. I did knock stuff on the floor, but I recovered from that, so we're good.
And the S meter does look cool.
You know, it's backlit, so it sort of plays well. It's a little bit boring when I'm talking, because there's not a selection that really does much of anything to move around. But The main reason it's there is for the incoming radios. If they watch the video back, they can give themselves a signal report. So good stuff. All right, talk to you all next time on your old Tube Radio Network.
Oh, did you check in Captain Robert? I noticed Chrissy was asking.
Yeah, let's see. I want to make sure that I got him in the special spot. I know he is recovering, trying to cover Captain Robert. I always appreciate the fact that you take time to jump in and say hello to everybody and give us the updates. We are all thinking about you and rooting for you to take the one step up and the next step up, and so you don't have to worry about seeing the doctor so much anymore. So don't give up. Keep at it, because we want to see your posts from week to week. Got you checked in. We will look for you next week. The old Tube Radio Network 73, everybody.
73s.
And I can now put on my cycle 25 hat and wait for cycle 25.
Calls and said, well, we got places. We'll take cargo ships. Send them up here.
All right, good night, everybody. Now walk down the big hall down into the green room and get some of that key lime pie. Catch you later. And the Echo link is there.
I just wanted to say, in the immortal words of Leslie Nielsen, when he stepped into the cockpit after the plane had already landed, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah. All right, a minute. Let me come back to the microphone here. I was walking down the hall here. All right, that should be better. Do I have audio on the Echo link? Over.